FORA.tv. The world is thinking.
What I ended up calling the title of my first book, which is Perfect Vocational Day. And we have some time. We could do a quick exercise. The concept of perfect vocational day is if you could create a day centered around your work that you can do the rest of your life, what would that day be like? When would you get up? Where would you go? Who would you be with? What would you do? And you're not finished designing this day until you're so excited. You're just drooling. It's like, wow, if I could really do this. We're going to do a quick exercise because and you can do this on your own, but I'm going to give you some ideas here. I got good news. I'm going to give each of you $50 million right now after taxes. Okay? That was a bonus for coming to Graceworks this morning. Years ago, I'm also a college professor, and I used to say to my students, I'm going to give you $20 million. Could this last you the rest of your life? And of course, they would say, no. So I raised it to 50. So now it's 50, inflation. So each of you, I've just given $50 million, okay? We're going to meet back here in December, 6 months or so. So between now and then, just go have fun with your $50 million. Come back with most of it, but I'll see you guys back in 6 months. Hey, welcome back here in December. Look at you guys, happy, relaxed, tan, so great. I want you to think about, maybe jot down, what have you been doing in the last 6 months? What did you do in the last 6 months? Some of you probably traveled, you paid off bills, maybe you gave some money away, assuming you have most of the money still. I want you to think about, what did you do in the last 6 months? That's an indication of where some of your core passions are. Now, with the money still, take a piece of paper, and I want you to write down in 2-hour increments your entire day. We're going to design your perfect vocational day that you could do the rest of your life. So if you like to get up at 8 in the morning, you'd start with 8. If it's 6, you'd put 6. 6, 8, 10, 12, 2, 4, all the way through the whole day. And you're going to, just like an artist designs and draws a painting, you're going to design your perfect vocational day. Now, every day will be slightly different, but what would be just perfect for you? So you write down, well, I'd get up at 6, and and the more detailed, the better. The more specific, the better. In my work with clients, I notice that women get up and go exercise, and men go to Pete's and have coffee and read the paper. But what would it be for you? What would you do at 6, at 8, at 10? You have to be specific. Now, the concept here is that your day is designed around work. So you can't just say, well, and then from, I'll exercise, I'll sleep in, I'll check my email, and then from 1 to 5, I'll go somewhere and work. No, that's the point here. What would you work at? Would you work outside, inside, in a big building, a little building with lots of people, by yourself, at home, outside of the house? But what would you do? You design this day, and you're not done until you're so excited. This includes who you work with, what time do you get off of work. If you're doing vocation, that concept doesn't exist. People always say to me, Craig, you seem like you work a lot, because I do a lot of things. How many hours do you work? I don't know how to answer that question. When you have an authentic life, it's like asking me, how often do I breathe? So if you had to design your perfect vocation day, let's do this. So you design this day, right? At the end of the day, where would you go? Who would you be with? Maybe you're single and you have to design in the perfect mate at the end of the day, or vice versa. But the point is, you design a day that's just perfect for you. And when you're excited about it, then you could stop. And then we move to the next step, you see. But if you design this day and go, yeah, it's okay, I guess I could do this day the rest of my life. No, that's not good enough. Again, the mind can't tell the difference between what's imagined and what's real when you think about the future. So that's step 2. You're going to design the day. Now, do you see the concept here? You see the difference between looking for a job and designing what would be just perfect for you? Of course, you may end up as a stepping stone working for somebody else in a job. But the difference is you've started with designing what's perfect for you, because what's out there now has not been designed for you, in case you haven't figured that out. So now you've designed this day. Oh, I have bad news. I always make the same mistake. I meant to give the last group the $50 million. So I'm going to have to take it back right now. So give me all the money back right now. I want it all back. Okay? But you could keep the vision of what you would have done with the money. The third step is to go back through your perfect vocational day and look for vocational patterns. Where can you earn $1 from this day? That's the place to start. Look in your perfect vocational day. Like one guy said to me in a talk once, he said, well, Craig, he was like, okay. I always have something like that in my talks. They're like this the whole time. Like, in fact, one guy said to me once, so you're the guy that's going to teach us how to do what we love, huh? Like it's my fault or something. But, so one guy said to me, I want to, play golf all day. What are you going to do with that? Turns out today he's a golf manufacturing rep. And he spends his whole life on the golf course. In his case, he's making whatever money he needed to make. So look at your day and see where are their vocational patterns. It's important to think like an entrepreneur, even if you end up working for someone else. So you go through this day and you ask yourself, where are there products or services from this day that I can sell to somebody else? Products or services. That's the two categories. And you take a piece of paper and you make 4 columns. So here are the things I'd really like to sell. Now, even if you're going to go work in a job for somebody else, the mind exercise here is important. So what's the product or service? And then for each product and service, what's the feature of what I can sell? What's a feature? If you buy a car, it has air conditioning. So if you want to teach kids how to read, what would be a feature of that? Short-term reading lessons, whatever it would be. And the next column is benefits. So for each product or service that you can sell, what's the feature? And then what's the benefit? Why would somebody benefit from what you have to sell? And lastly, the last column is really important, which is niche audience. Who do you most want to work with for the rest of your life, right? Is it kids? Is it adults? Is it elderly people? Who? So now you have this matrix from your perfect vocational day, if you're following me here, of what you could sell, product or service, and who you're going to sell it to. Again, even if you end up working for someone else, it positions you to think about your life and your work differently.